let in our participants. Seems like we have mostly everyone.
Yep, sure.
I'll just lower the volume a tiny bit.
Excited to see.
Okay, this is exciting. We are now live. I'm just going to give everyone a moment to set up their audio or their video if they'd like to. We're also live on YouTube. And for those of you watching on YouTube, thank you very much. You're going to learn so much with us. And just a little tip, if the music is too loud on your end, what you can do is click on that little button that's in the center of the screen to pop up the music box. Click on the volume button and lower the volume. So it looks like we have everyone here. Perfectly on time. This is awesome. And for those of you returning with us, can you give us a little react when you're ready? Like a thumbs up to say that you're good to go? Cool, that's most of us. Just waiting for Connie, Caroline, everyone else to set up. By the way, if we could have Catherine and Michael, I see your cursors all the way up here. Not sure if they're on the mural board or the butter board, if they could also join us in part 3. We're down at the bottom. And that's good. I'm seeing some people setting up their presentation nice and early. That's cool. We appreciate that. Alrighty, so I think as everyone else is setting up, I'm just gonna get ready and kick off the agenda, just so we can give everyone time to settle. We can also talk about a little bit what we did last week, just as a refresher for anyone else who's watching us, or anyone who's missed this from part 1 or part 2. Okay. I'm going to start the agenda timer. Oh, we have some more guests. Let me admit them all. Welcome, everyone. Seems like we have a bigger turnout. Wow. 11 of you here. I'm very happy about this. But anywho, I am going to start the agenda. And I'm going to turn off the music for now, seeing as we're all hyped up. Alrighty, so as we're settling in, I'm going to let everyone on their teams decide to set up their presentation board. And in the meantime, I'm also just going to talk a little bit about the Collective Studio for our stream, just in case some of us are just joining us, not sure what this is about. But Collective Studio is a design community on Discord where we come together to do remote design sprints. So these sprints kind of help us to look at different kinds of user problems and we collaborate together to brainstorm different ideas and to test different solutions. So it's a great way for, I guess, new UX designers or even people who have like a little bit of experience to practice what it would be like to collaborate and communicate in a teamwork kind of environment, sort of similar to what they would experience if they were in the office. But for those who want to try this out, this is really easy. It doesn't require any kind of like previous knowledge. You don't have to know how to use Miro or any of these tools. You can learn as you go. So if you haven't heard of us, check us out on tcstudio.cc. That's our website. Get information on it, learn to join our server, learn how we sprint, and also follow us on our YouTube channel because we have lots of video tutorials on how to wireframe, how to prototype, as well as recap videos just like this one, just going through our sprints and our process. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, okay, I'm gonna let Harko in. Now that that's out of the way, I will move on to just quick introductions and as well as covering what we did from last week. So for some of you that were here from part one, I see that you're here with us for part two and part three. That's great. If you haven't been here for part two and you dropped out at some point, that's all right. You're here with us today on part three, and I'm so glad that you decided to join us again. If you know which team you were a part of, you could always refer to the part one section to find out where your name was placed. Because in part two, we kind of had to do like a name change just because some people were dropping out and some people were present, so we had to deal with who was available. But either way, if you had a chance to communicate with your team and you know where you are supposed to be, just join them. Um, in the meantime, I'm just going to quickly go over what it is that we did in the first week. So the first week, we basically did the five W's kind of brainstorm as a team, and we figured out what our how might we statement is. So we created this statement together as a team to ask the question: how are we going to help artists try to sell their artwork on NFT platforms, right? So the artist is the user, right? And they want a intuitive platform that is easy for them to use. And they want to be able to sell their artwork to a specific niche market so that they can make a living off of their artwork. So in a nutshell, this is the type of user that we're focused on, and they're having a problem not being able to find a easy, intuitive platform for them to sell their artwork on. Okay, so that's who we're talking about. That's who we're focused on. That's kind of like the very basic understanding of what the problem is for the user. And then as a team, we went through a value proposition map. So we had to figure out what it is that the user is trying to do on this particular platform that we're going to create for them. We had to think about gains, things that or features that a user will see as being beneficial to them, something that will help them to do their particular jobs, and as well as customer pain points. So this is a case where the customer or the user could also engage with the platform and also notice things that are going to be a hindrance to them. And on the flip side, we also thought about the product itself, like what should the product do for the customer? What kind of platform are we? And also, we brainstorm pain relievers as well as gain creators. Gain creators are things that is going to help, you know, generate some revenue or some profits from this platform, as well as pain relievers, which is what are all the things that we could do to design this product so that we can directly address the user's pain points. Okay, so we did that as a team. We didn't have enough time to take up all these sticky notes together, but we have it here as a reference in case you want to look at it afterwards. Um, Also, in part two, we had a lot of fun doing Crazy 8 sketching. But before we did the Crazy 8 sketching, we had to look at a persona. So the persona that we came up with is Nathan Nagayan. So this guy, he has experience with NFT trading. He got into it through his friends. He's motivated by creating trending and unique art. He has frustrations about platforms that are too oversaturated, where there's a lot of like copycats, fakes, a lot of unoriginal artwork. He's worried about being scammed. He wants to feel like he's using a platform that's safe and secure. His goals are to trade minted NFTs, and he wants to find the right niche to sell to. So, being able to scrub through complex information and do it in a very simple and intuitive way is really important to this user. Okay, and then we came up with a user journey map for our persona, and we looked at it step by step in terms of what are the possible things that this user could face as a problem, and we came up with solutions as a team. And this kind of helped us to like understand in a whole like a whole big picture view, like how is our user going to utilize this platform in a realistic way, and what is it going to take for them to actually make their first sale or to upload their first piece of artwork. Okay, and then in the Crazy Eight section, we broke up into teams, and each team decided to vote for the three top best sketches that they will make into hi-fi wireframes or prototypes. So that's kind of what we are challenged to do for this week is to present those screens, those three screens that were the best looking ones, and to present it as a team and to for the teams to demonstrate how it is that their screens are solving the problem for the user, as well as how does it relate to like the user journey as well, and how does it relate to the persona. Try to connect it what you've designed with what we've talked about in part one and part two. So before we jump into that, everyone knows who I am. My name is Melanie, aka Chocolato, from the Discord server. So I've been like a freelance graphic designer for about like 7 years, and I'm also a career switcher into UX design. And I've also run these events with Claire, who's my co-founder. Unfortunately, she's not here with us today because she went on vacation, but she will be back. But between us, we are really passionate about helping UX designers develop their UX and UI skills through these kind of workshops. And that's just me in a nutshell. If you've seen me around on the server, you'll continue to see me around because that's where I am. Hit me up there, or you can email me. Padma is our guest professional UX designer who will be giving you feedback today. So this is pretty exciting. Padma, do you have a moment to say hello and just briefly introduce yourself?
Hey, hi, sure. Sure, definitely. Yep. Okay, so welcome everyone, and I really like the way you guys have worked on the sprint from last 2 weeks. It is amazing. It's amazing. So, yep, a quick introduction about me. I'm myself Padma. I'm the UX architect and the co-founder of Iterate UX community. In the Iterate UX community, wherein we provide a virtual platform wherein everyone like UXers can learn, grow, and connect with each other. So that's the thing which we have with Iterate UX, and happy to share my knowledge and happy to give my feedback out here in the design sprints. So, yep, thanks, Melanie, for giving me this opportunity and partnering with Collective Studio and Iterate UX. So, yep, looks amazing. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
We
thank
can
you,
go ahead.
Padma.
Mm-hmm.
And I will have to like copy and paste a link to the Iterate UX design server as well as
Mm-hmm.
their website here.
Sure,
Um,
definitely. Also,
mhm.
would like to tell everyone, feel free to explore our community. Feel free to learn more out there. We have different channels out there, different events and all, which will definitely help you. So, yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna copy and paste the link right here, so you
Mm-hmm.
guys can definitely join if you haven't joined them already. I know some of you are already members of Iterate UX, but for those of you from the Collective Studio, definitely join Iterate UX. They have great events. They always have something going on. There you go. There's a link.
Thanks, Melanie.
No
Mm-hmm.
problem.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, yeah, on to the next section. We are going to start with Team A. Is Team A ready to present, or do I need to give you some time to get settled in? So Gabby, Amarit, Caroline. It looks like you guys are still working on that. Let
Yeah,
me
we
have a look at Team B and see how you guys are doing. Seems like you guys are still working on it. Okay, that's cool. Totally fine. I could give you guys I can actually set a timer for like maybe 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Do you think would be enough time for you guys to be finished? Oh, yeah, by the way, if you also need an extra frame, you could use an extra frame down here if you need more space just for your presentation. Same thing for like Team B. You have another frame here that you could put some more screens. Oh, Jeff is here. Okay, so I'm just going to create a timer. I'm going to give you guys just an extra 3 minutes just to get settled in. Okie dokie. Cool. So I'm going to play a little bit of this music, and then I'll give you guys like 3 minutes just to finish wrapping up your presentations, just laying it out. I'll change the song, something more mellow. Okay, so it seems like both Team A and Team B are done. So I'm gonna stop the timer here. I'm gonna stop the music. And we're going to get started. So, is Team A ready to present? Are you able
Yes.
to use voice or use your mic?
Yeah, can you hear me? I'll be presenting for Team A.
Okay, is that Gabby? Hey, Gabby.
Yes. Hello.
Excellent. Alrighty. So I'm going to set the timer for 15 minutes for your presentation. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Alrighty. Take it away, Gabby.
So we are the collectibles NFT AAs for awesome. And these are our UI designs. So based on the research from the last 2 weeks, we saw that sellers wanted to be able to track, where their most most of their audience is coming from. So in this first screen, you can see like how people found the seller, and it can give you different metrics depending on where you connect your social medias to.
Mhm.
Statistics page also allows sellers to track how many NFTs are sold, how many NFTs are getting viewed, and their total revenue. And you're also able to check where potential buyers are coming from. This allows sellers to better target their audience overall and market themselves in a better way to their specific niche or group, depending on their artwork.
Mhm.
Also, NFTs um, can be filtered by collections and tags, which is really helpful depending on if you're an artist and you have a collection of NFTs that you want to put together. Also by
Mhm.
tags, depending on what's in your artwork.
Mhm.
We also have seller tools that show crypto wallet, your community help, your trends, and commissions. And these features are all just to see your metrics and to be able to grow your audience and show your audience to whoever's following you on your different social medias.
Mhm.
And then these two other slides are just basically different designs of the same things. Like Harco's here at the top shows splash screen, explore screen, profile screen, and analytics screen.
Mhm.
And then Manika's here at the bottom is another rendition of that. So yeah,
Okay, I see. So for this for these three screens here, this is what you have designed?
this is what Amarit designed.
Amarit. Okay, Amarit did this one. And and you said Harco made this one here?
Yes, Harco made all those four,
Yeah?
and then these three at the bottom are Manika's.
Okay, okay. Alrighty.
And then basically all of these screens are just a culmination of all of our efforts together about different research that we gathered as well. So
Okay, I see, I see. So, did you guys design the same types of screens? Because I see a landing page, homepage screen here. Um, is that also featured in your version?
yes,
Okay. So which one is the home screen or the landing page?
the landing page would most likely be the explore screen.
Okay. Sorry. And sorry, which one was yours again?
Say that again.
Which design was yours again? Which one did you make?
I actually didn't create a hi-fi design. I just kind of helped the team.
Oh,
You know,
okay, I understand. Okay, so you kind of
yeah,
helped them to organize their vision. Okay, okay, I see, I
right.
understand. Right. Okay, that was your
Yeah,
contribution.
hi Manly. Actually, I
Okay.
just like to highlight over here is that we actually planned as a whole team to give ideas for the
Mhm.
lo-fi.
Mhm.
That's what Amrit did in the left part of the screen you can see. So we all came together, did all our lo-fis and all, and we wanted to vote like which what are the features are the best one, which can go into the hi-fi.
Mhm.
But actually, everybody got busy in the later part of the week, and we couldn't actually, create like a summed up version of all these features.
Mhm.
So ultimately, the thing is that there are few features which are good in Amrits, and there are few features which I have put up in mine. And there's like a search screen that you can see in the below. So actually, the main thing would be like crisscross and mix up of features in the final application.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Um, okay. So, Padma, do you have any questions so far about these screens?
Mm-hmm.
Or should I say, is everyone in the team feel like they're ready to move on for feedback, or is there anything else you would like to explain about what each of you has contributed?
I think we can go to feedback if my team's in agreement.
Okay, alrighty. Okay, we have lots of time left. So, Padma, what is your impression so far?
Uh-huh. Perfect. So it looks good. But before moving ahead, before providing any feedback, like I would like to ask few questions, like
Yeah.
what kind of UI components you guys have used, and what is the goal behind that, and the reasons behind that, so that
Mhm.
like we can see like what kind of UI component will be will be suitable for your users on that particular areas that
Mhm.
way. So let's start with the I guess these are the low fidelity wireframes, right? So would like to understand first like how the navigation will work out here in this particular
Mhm.
flow. Gabby, Harko, if anyone would like to explain.
Or Amrit. I think Amrit was the
Amrit?
author of these three screens here.
Mm-hmm.
Was Amrit able to hear? By the way, if you can't hear us, just let us know so that we could speak up louder.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's lagging on there. So
It's
I
actually
think
lagging on me.
Amrit can just put whatever he wants to say in the chat over here and
Yep.
better.
Yep. If you're not able to use voice, you could definitely use chat.
Uh-huh. Okay, so maybe I can just go ahead and quickly share some of the feedback which I can say.
Yep.
Yep. So I say statistics out here. This is nice, wherein people see numbers and the content about it. So this looks good out here always. Then we have visits and this week. So I would suggest one thing out here, if you can combine these two areas in one line, so that maybe you can like give a lesser scroll for your users. So that is one thing which I can say. Then you have this statistic out here, how people find you and all time. So out here, just want to check like why this rounded outline view have it out here. Is this a clickable or like any typeable area or any input box which you would like to showcase? As this will be a drop down, but I need to understand like why these rounded box we have it out here. So UI components, how we showcase for our users, we need to understand like what will be the action behind that particular UI component. That uh, based on that you will be providing the UI component that way. So as you have visits, is this going to be a drop down with different options? Then this will be this week. Is this a drop down with different option? You can think about some other UI components as well,
Mhm.
since you have given a drop down out here. For an example, like it can be a toggle wherein you can say daily, weekly, and monthly out here, so that it will be intuitive for your users to directly click on those options rather than clicking on drop down and then selecting that option. So in that case we can reduce some of the clicks as well for our users. So these are important points wherein we need to understand while selecting any UI component. You can provide the component which can give lesser clicks, lesser scroll as well for our users to understand. So that is one thing I can say over here. Then you have a graph which looks good. Then you have a this particular data visualization which you have provided with the legends which showcase like Instagram, Twitter. Okay, this looks nice. Okay, moving ahead, maybe we can go to the explore screen wherein we have all trending. And for now out here, as per this trending is a colored version, it looks like this particular page or this particular screen is for the trending version. If that's the case, then we are good over here.
Mhm.
Then we see over here name as NFTs. We have sorting out here and
Mhm.
we have a slightly arrow out here.
Mhm.
So would like to understand like what is the reason behind this particular arrow and how it will work. So we need to check.
Mhm.
Also like whenever you are providing any iconography without text, you need to understand you are not increasing a cognitive load for our users. So at that time you have to be very careful like what kind of icons you are providing for our users. So this is one thing out here which I can say. And also you need to consider the tappable area. So what will be the tappable area for this sorting, and what will be the tappable area for this arrow, and what the arrow will work. Similarly, you need to understand what will be the tappable area on these particular uh, space. I can say we have cart, we have like button out here, and I guess these will be just a content for users to understand. So that is good. But out here, if you see, in this particular area we have many action items, so you need to consider that tappable area as well for users. So these are quite a detailed version which I can say in UI design, which you need to consider when you will go for the high fidelity wireframes. Okay, moving ahead. These are the tag you have over here. These are again tags out here. That is good. Okay, then let's move ahead with the other slide wherein we have, I guess this will be a profile screen. Welcome to Collective Studio. Listening. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, these are the iconography which you have used. Okay, since this is a low fidelity wireframe, I will not say much on that, but I can suggest you one thing. When you guys will move this for the high fidelity wireframe, think about the consistency as well for the iconography. Like I see over here, this is the outline icon and this is the filled icon. So whenever you are using any iconography, it should be consistent. So if you are using outline icon, all icons should be outline with the current one, or all icons should be the filled version, so that you can consider in the high fidelity wireframe. Rest all things looks good. I really like the way out here you have provided the tags so that it will help users to understand what is this particular block all about. So this is a good feature,
Whoops.
giving more information for our users. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, this looks good. Let's move for the on the high fidelity wireframes,
Mm-hmm.
wherein we have splash screen. Okay, this looks good. One thing I can say out here in the splash screen, button. Out here we have one call to action button, which is let's get started, which is slightly merging with the background image. So you can think over it like how to give more affordance on your button, or maybe you can blur it out some your background image or something, which will not merge with your background. So yeah, that is one thing. Then you have explore screen wherein you have these two action items, top collections. This looks nice. I really like the way you have provided the numbers with the color, differentiate with the color. So this will give you a good chance for users to understand. Okay, so this is the minus numbers, and these will be the positive numbers out here. So this is good to emphasize on the colors and the meaning of that particular number. So I liked it. Okay, so this looks good. Moving ahead with profile screen. This is nice. I really like the way you guys have followed the color style guideline, one color style guideline, which is nice. Okay, okay.
I'm writing down your
Mm-hmm.
feedback in comments,
Mm-hmm.
Padma, just to make it helpful
Oh,
for
yeah.
our teams.
Mm-hmm. I really like the way you
Mm-hmm.
guys have followed the grid system also out here,
Mm-hmm.
which is really nice, and which will help the visual hierarchy as well. So it is nice. Moving ahead with these numbers, 10K, this. Okay. Mm-hmm. All categories drop down. User is on the overview, then he has reach and engagement. That is good. Then you have these numbers. Okay, looks good. Mm-hmm. And the description. Okay, I hope description will be some content kind of a thing. Mm-hmm.
I also have something else to add about
Uh,
this screen for analytics.
mm-hmm.
Because I noticed that the font sizes for the analytical numbers, they seem to be all different. It may be very minor, but I feel as though maybe perhaps it could be more consistent, like the same size, so it doesn't appear to have more emphasis than another. Like 2.3K is smaller than 10K, so I would like to see it maybe more balanced.
Mm-hmm.
I think that
The
would look, yeah.
consistency, yep,
Mhm.
definitely. Hmm. That's a good point. Hmm. Also, if you can differentiate font color or maybe type something out here, this is the limit as a text, and these are the numbers which will represent the data out here, right? So, this particular typo, if you can make it slightly different, which will give a different visual hierarchy for this particular chart, then yep, rest all things looks good out here. I like the way you guys have uh, maintained the spacing, but still some detailed version I can
Mhm.
say. Just check once again on the spacing
Mhm.
out here. Hmm.
I also have something to add about the gradient background. I think it might have some issues with legibility, especially with the font and also the text color. Because as you see further down here, it becomes a little bit less contrasting when used with the gray. So I'm just wondering if maybe we could use maybe a darker color for the gradient so that you have two contrasting colors that doesn't interfere with the legibility of the text.
Definitely. And also, while
Mhm.
using font colors with the
Mhm.
background, you need to always check for the accessibility as well.
Mhm.
Are these color are at least double A or uh, like maybe at least two level A of accessibility contrast, if you guys are uh, can match that contrast. So you need to
Mhm.
check that background and the font color as well out here. Yep.
Mhm.
Mhm. Also with the background images and the font out here, if you have used it, so I see like you have used the shadow slightly, but slightly that text is merging with the background
Mhm.
image, so you can consider that as well. Mhm.
I could also
Similarly,
recommend
uh-huh.
maybe if they could use a photo filter, perhaps
Mhm.
to darken the image so that the text laid on top can contrast. That way, if they do swap out images with something different, it would be toned down a little bit so that the text would always appear strong.
Mhm. Definitely.
Okay.
Similarly,
Mhm.
in the search image,
Mhm.
I see that this particular input field is slightly merging with all these area. So you need to understand what will be the visual hierarchy you would like to present over here. As I see, all are clear boxes in the background, and we have the search box out here. So you need to make sure like the search box should emphasize more than the background. Mhm. Then moving ahead with analytics screen. Okay, so we have all categories and all categories. Okay, so is there any difference between these two all categories or what those categories will be? So you need to be very careful with the content which you are providing, that will help the users to take the action on that particular screen. That is the one thing. Also alignment, you guys can see the alignment of this particular area, the collective studio, view info, and the diamond and the content and this text. So the alignment out here. Then moving ahead, okay, yeah, moving ahead with these tags, you need to consider the again consistency out here, why you are showcasing different colors and why you are showcasing different states out here. So you need to consider that are these are the tags, are these are the clickable action item, what these are going to showcase out here, you need to consider that. So there are different states. Some action items will be clickable, some information will be just as an information. So you need to consider that in your style guideline or maybe in your design system, what kind of a buttons and what kind of a shapes and colors will showcase as just an information, or what kind of a buttons will showcase as a call to action button wherein user can click on it and move on to the another screen as a navigation. So that you need to consider out here.
Okay.
Mhm.
And
And
we've reached 15
mhm,
minutes for feedback.
mhm.
Um, I think we can move on to the next team. And anything else that we want to mention about our presentations, we can take it up in the Q&A session. Is that all right? Okay,
Works for
cool.
Yeah.
me. Mhm.
Thank you so much for the feedback.
Yeah, you're welcome. And on to Team B. Is Team B ready to present? Yes, they are. I got a thumbs up from Connie. Okie dokie. Everyone else is ready. All right. So, will someone be a speaker for Team B? Will someone be able to utilize voice so they could guide us, or
think
perhaps
we're
use the
gonna
chat?
take I think we're gonna take turns because some of us sort of teamed up, um,
Yeah.
making each of the wireframes. So
Okay. Sure. Okay. So we'll start off with the homepage screen here. Whoever has contributed to this, feel free to get started. I'm gonna start
All
the
right.
timer right now.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, awesome. So the homepage was a collaborative effort between me and two others from our group. Um,
Is
but I'll
that
be
Jeff speaking? Sorry.
yes, this is Jeff speaking.
Okay.
Yep. So they can feel free to chime in too, if I do happen to miss anything. But we'll kind of start from the top going down.
Mhm.
So this is our homepage. We did kind of give a placement name for our app, which would be Minty. I don't think we have the logo set up here, but we did
Mhm.
have one mocked up. But this is our homepage. Starting up at the top left, we have our user right over there, kind of front and forward. And underneath, we chose to put the search bar right up front, because I did want a lot of people when they first came here, if they had anything in mind, maybe someone suggested something to them, or are looking for something specific, to have that not be hidden behind anything else that needs to be clicked, but right there.
Mhm.
Right below that, we chose to do categories to kind of um, widen the net, so to speak. If you want to search, these categories can be um, designed to, you can put whichever ones you want up there, so they can kind of be customized to the top four. But if you do scroll, the carousel goes left to right. But those are for some that, if let's say you're big into sports, you could either put certain sports teams or certain types of sports. But just to kind of get to the action quicker.
Mhm.
Underneath that, we decided to put trending right in the middle. That way, if you're not too familiar with NFTs, once you get there, this is kind of what everyone's talking about. Maybe some that just sold for a high price tag, but this is what the community big on NFTs are going to be searching for. If you look underneath the monkey that we have, which is a real NFT,
Mhm.
underneath we have a little bit more information about it. But we wanted that one to not be too distracting and have it on all of them in the carousel, but just on the one forefront. So you'd have to scroll to see it.
Mhm.
Then if we go a little bit below that, we have the For You, which just the algorithm for the app will kind of find out things that we just, by the groups that the categories you use or whatnot that you like.
Mhm.
And it's going to suggest things similar to what you've looked up before, hopefully to try and catch your interest. And it's an endless carousel.
Mhm.
And all these are carousels with different designs. Lastly, we have the search bar at the bottom. Um, the buttons that we have down there aren't going to be replicated with the hamburger menu at the top right. They are separate from each other.
Mhm.
But these ones were the buttons that we felt deserved to be in the forefront, used the most. But we didn't want to take up too much real estate, so we just put them at the bottom. and made them kind of as big as they needed to be seen and used, but not take up too much of our real estate.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think about what else. We have the other page right next to it, which we decided after doing some research, talking to some friends that are into NFTs,
Mhm.
that they all suggested that we would use a like a dark time blackout type of mode
Mhm.
instead of our more bright purple.
Mhm.
So we wanted that to be an alternative um, to be used and can be set through the menu to have that be used on all of like throughout the app. So we just wanted that to be. That's what I found a lot of my friends were suggesting when I showed them that this to them.
Okay, cool.
Outside of that, I'm trying to think about what else. We chose purple. Was the color that we decided on. It's kind of a royal color. You know, has more of like more meaning behind it. Was the reason we chose that over all other colors. And outside of that, I'm not sure if Raj or Nicole wanted to add anything else I might have skimmed over, but that was kind of the explanation of what we had and why we had just about everything on our home screen.
Okay.
Uh, I would like to add to the trending part now, which is
Hi,
actually
Raj.
so.
Can't seem to hear you. Are you able to speak up louder?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
A little
It's a little
bit.
bit better.
Okay, 1 second. Yeah. What I try to do here is actually added the details of the image of the NFT below here. So what happens is when we actually scroll through this trending page, the name of the, I mean, the details about the NFTs change accordingly. So which is front, whichever NFT is in front. Like if I move to the next one over here. So when I click this one, so the details about those image would this would disappear, and the details about this will come to the center, right? So it changes accordingly to that, so that we could it will be less disturbing in a way. Like it will make us focus on a single thing. So yeah, I thought that would be better, so I added that way. And yeah, we added the like button actually in the up here, because uh, most of the I mean most of the platform use it right below down here, along with the details about the apps. But what I wanted to do is add there to emphasize it a bit much, so that they'll know how, how much it is liked, or like and easy to like and add it to our uh, collection of NFTs which we would like to uh, purchase or something like that. So yeah, that would be the one. And also the categories is about the art, right? So normally most of the NFTs we come across in social media and stuff, those are arts and collectibles. But there are also NFTs for photography, like actual photography, which are made into NFTs. So yeah, we wanted to uh, keep those things to align those things aligned as well, so that it will be easier to explore different categories easily. So we added it like this. So with the picture upfront, what it would be, so that it will be easier for them to understand and go in about it. Uh, yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. So for from what I could summarize is, you've designed this carousel this way so that the user could focus on one image at a time. That's correct, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
that's
and
right.
then you have a like button in the corner, and then you have information about this specific NFT.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. I understand. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I guess we can move on to the next screen. Whoever is working on this screen, feel free to just jump in.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Well, hi, by the way, my name is Jonathan. I pretty much led the design for the artist NFT gallery wireframe.
Mhm.
So the main purpose of this wireframe is to showcase the NFTs of your favorite artists that you are interested in auctioning or purchasing.
Mhm.
So in return, this will help artists sell their art easily to potential customers.
Mhm.
So let's start from the top. So starting from the top, you have the artist avatar and their name.
Mhm.
On the right corner, you have the share button, so people can share this page to their friends and check out this artist NFTs. And next, you see the layout button. Just in case, if people aren't fans of this carousel, they could change it to a different layout to view the artist NFTs, like a
Mhm.
grid system. Below, you have the label, which is the name of the collection and how many NFTs there are for the collection. And then you have the main NFT that you're seeing, the main NFT.
Mhm.
So basically, the component of this, I made it into a card-based design
Mhm.
because it's easier to do the information hierarchy, and it's modular and easy to view.
Mhm.
So you have the picture. You also have informations of the NFT, such as the name, the currency, how much it costs, and how many people have favorited to see if other people have viewed this. And you can see this is a carousel because the next NFT, there's like a little preview or a little cutoff just to give an indication that this is a carousel. You could like slide uh, to to the left to see
Mhm.
the next NFT.
Mhm.
And below the picture is a slider.
Mhm.
So this will also show where you're at in terms of like which NFT you're looking at in the position. So it will also show you the progress of how many NFTs there are in this carousel. And it's
Mhm.
also interactive. You can also slide it to see the next NFT.
Mhm.
And below is the call to action button or filter specifically. So
Mhm.
you will use this to sort out the NFTs for to either see like what's trending, what's the most popular, what's the newest, or what's the most expensive to the lowest price. So just another way for you to sort out the entities that you're trying to look for to be more specific.
Mhm.
But and yeah, this is the artist NFT gallery wireframe.
Mhm. Thank you. Okay. We can go on to the next screen for new listings.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so hi, my name is Connie. I made the new listing screen.
Mhm.
So this would just be a location for, in preparation for artists to publish their essentially NFT artwork.
Mhm.
I was imagining from top down, we have your navigation in the new listing, and then where you sort of have the picture, you could sort of click to replace or upload your picture. So currently it's this pixelated apple.
Mhm.
Um, I was thinking that when you select your NFT to have to arrive to this page, the blockchain is already the information in blockchain is already created.
Mhm.
So you would sort of click your NFT from a collection of NFTs or images that you've already turned into blockchains. I wasn't
Mhm.
exactly sure how the blockchain system worked, so I
Mhm.
sort of made that as like a way that where okay, this is where the prerequisite of this is that you have already created your NFT or blockchain
Mhm.
attached to your image.
Mhm.
So when you do so, some of the information might already be pre-generated,
Mhm.
such as the technical details,
Mhm.
and depending on whether or not the NFT was already yours, or if you're reselling an NFT,
Mhm.
certain items like NFT title collections might already and price history might already be generated for this for
Mhm.
you.
Mhm.
Um, this is so that if you're a seller, you can just resell it really quickly, and then you can, as a user, you can edit certain things like the description and tags and bidding details for you to publish your listing. I also added little asterisks to indicate which sections of the form were mandatory,
Mhm.
but that's pretty much it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks.
And for this next screen here, it looks like a wallet. Who worked on this screen?
Yeah, I worked on this one. So
Uh,
yeah,
was that? I couldn't quite hear it. Was that
Rajesh.
Raj?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
you worked on this screen?
Yeah, I have worked
Okay.
on this one. Uh,
Do you want to
so
walk us through?
yeah, I'll do that.
Sure.
So what the screen is about is it's like every NFT platform has a wallet, right? So we wanted to do that, and uh, what we see here is so when we link our MetaMask wallet to this app, Minty app, so we could actually track the wallet's holdings, like from NFT, like I mean from cryptocurrencies, and also the collections, as you can see here. There's another tab here for collections. So
Mhm.
collection is about uh, the NFTs which we bought that could go in here, uh, in the wallet, and we
Mhm.
can track that accordingly. So yeah, so the what the graph shows here is so what's the trend on the Ethereum, like what's happening around it. So how's the price is changing, how it's happening, and I mean what's the profit we have, and what's the percentage, and what's the amount.
Mhm.
And also we have a balance section here which shows so it shows the balance in US dollars and also in Ethereum.
Mhm.
So it's uh, easy for knowing how much Ethereum we have and what's
Mhm.
the value of that at the current day, or at, at the given moment.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's pretty much the same for the down one as well. And in the I mean in the bottom nav, so here we highlighted the wallet. So
Mhm.
yeah, so it shows that we are currently at this place, like which it's accessibility reason. So like it will highlight where in our app are we. So it highlights like this and shows our holdings
Yeah,
here.
got it.
We can yeah we
Yeah.
can so we were discussing on making a collections page too, but uh yeah but we couldn't make it yet. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Sorry to stop you there. We're at the 15-minute point for your team's
Yeah.
presentation. So I appreciate like everyone's you know, thoughtful explanations, but we're going to have to move on to the next section for feedback. And as usual, if we have any lingering questions, we can always take it up during the Q&A session. Thank you, Raj. Alrighty? So, Padma, are we ready for feedback?
Perfect.
Okay.
Yup.
So let's
Let's
start.
move ahead. Uh
Yeah.
huh.
So let's
Okay.
start with the homepage.
So let's start with the homepage. I really like the way you have provided the profiles photo and the name. Hello, that particular name, and let's get you NFT you like. That is nice. You have a hamburger menu. Perfect. Moving ahead, I really like the way you explained also, like why you have presented the search box out here. That is amazing. One thing out here, just wanted to check, like what will be the action when user will type any keywords out here, how the user will go and search. Do we have any enter button out here wherein user will get an action like type it somewhere and then enter, then they will get the search result, something that way. So that action item somewhere it is missing, so that you need to consider. Also, this filter, when you have considered this filter inside this input field, is this a part of this particular search area, or is this a different component altogether? So you need to consider that area. If this filter will work for the search, or you need to consider this as a different component, then this will be outside this particular search input field. That way. Then, moving ahead with categories, you have different categories out here. That is nice. You have wave on. That is also looks good. Then you have similarly trending and all these things, and then wave all. Perfect. I really like the way when he explained about like why do we have this information only for this particular image, and then once user will swipe, he will get that particular information. Good approach. But out here, I would suggest one more thing. In this particular concept, you are adding another learning curve for your users. Okay, showing information upfront for the users, which will be easily for understandable for your users. So think about that areas as well. Think about new users, like how they will understand these images without having any content. So you need to consider your new users as well. The people who are into this particular field, they will understand, okay, so these images are relevant, related to that particular content, but the new user may not understand the content. So you need to think of that area as well out here. Then for you, you have these many area. Also one more point, this particular like button or number, is this a tappable or this is just a information? So you need to consider that particular size width for that tappable area, and for now it is not readable as well. So that font style should be also at least readable on this particular view. For this as well, I can say, for this as well, I can say this content is not readable out here. See, view all is readable, for you is readable, but these content is not readable. So you need to consider the proper font size and style also for the text which you are using. Then moving ahead for the bottom navigation. Okay, so usually in the bottom navigation, icon and text is one component. Okay, so if you are giving this kind of a differentiation, it should be for whole component, so that it will be easily for user to understandable. User can tap on this particular area, so you don't need to tap only on this icon. This is one entire full area that way. So that is a very basic, which I can say, component which we usually use, globally everyone use for the bottom navigation. Okay, so that is one thing. Rest all things looks good. I really like the way you guys follow the same color for all the screens. Moving ahead with this particular screen, very nicely gray color tone. I don't know like why you have used a different color tone altogether for this particular screen, but to keep in consistency, you need to consider the same color background out here for this particular screen as well. Same for bottom navigation.
Yeah, I
Okay.
believe for
Mm-hmm.
this designer, I believe they wanted to create a dark mode. Is that
Mm-hmm.
correct? Who made this one? Was it what was it Jeff or
Combined from
Yeah, that was me. It
yeah?
was just a mock-up to show
Uh-huh.
that we have like a dark mode.
Mm-hmm.
We thought of the idea of adding a dark mode to our
Mm-hmm.
entire app, and this was just one of the screens we wanted to exemplify that
Mm-hmm.
if you enabled the dark mode, you would just have a darker background,
Mm-hmm.
um, just to easen up on your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say someone's scrolling very late at night in a dark room. We wanted to have an option to uh, you know make it
Okay.
darker.
Perfect.
So
Perfect.
so we would add that to all of them. There'd be an
Mm-hmm.
option. We just wanted to
Yeah.
show it with our homepage, just as an example.
Hmm.
Mhm. Looks good. Only one thing, you just need to consider the font color as well with the background color. So you just need to check the accessibility contrast out here. You can just check once online.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. This looks good. Moving ahead with this particular screen. This looks nice. We have everything up front, wherein I don't have much feedback on this screen. I see this like button, 30 likes are there, fonts are used nicely out here. Just check once the alignment in your final designs whenever you will get the chance to work on that. This is good. Filter button is there wherein user can go ahead and filter the button. That is perfectly nice. Looks good. moving ahead with this particular screen, like new listing page, since you guys have worked on like in different like screens, but moving ahead, if you would like to use this application as one project, you guys can consider consistency for all these area, like top navigation and the font as well. Like I see new listing is different font, wallet holding is another font, placement is different, and text styling is also different. Out here I see this is as a title case and this is a normal content. Okay, so you need to make that consistency also when you will move ahead with the final version for all the screens. So that is one thing which I have. Then out here, if user will change this particular image or profile, something that way, there is no indication where I can see like upload, change, or edit or something that way out here for this particular image. So you need to consider that as well to give a hint for your users. That is one thing. Then I really like the way you categorize this information like item details, one structure. User will update this information. You have used the asterisk as well. This is a good thing, wherein this is the mandatory field which you are showcasing. Good. Then you have another category which is market details, mandatory. Keep consistency out here, I can say. Out here, you have used the text, asterisk, and then colon. And over here, text, colon, and asterisk. So that consistency will should follow out here everywhere. So that is one thing. Moving ahead, these are the technical details. I see as per this particular content box, these are not editable content. If it is not editable, then it looks good. But if you would like this to be editable, you need to provide these underlines which you have used it out here in the other sections. Also adding one more point over here, when you guys will uh, create a finalized version, keep consistency between the button styling as well. As I see, button style for filters is different and button style for publishing listing is different. It is styling is different, font is different, shape is different, and size is also different. So that consistency you can follow for making a one final draft for your final project. So that is one thing. Rest all thing looks good. Only one thing, like just check the color contrast for this text, item details, and market details and technical details. I see technical detail is slightly darker one than the market details, so make consistency and just consider the contrast as well. That is one thing. Rest all things looks good out here. Moving ahead with wallet holdings. Okay, so this is nice thing, sorting tabs which you have provided, wallet and collection. So currently I see I am on the wallet, and then all these are the details related with wallets. Looks good. You will consider these top navigation with other screens as well later on. Then you have this particular draft out here wherein I can see the iconography with the numbers. Looks good. This content ETH, you need to check if it is readable on our screen, actual mobile screen. Just make that test with your users or maybe in your actual screens. Similarly, this particular content, this looks slightly smaller out here. It should be readable on our screens as well. So
Mm.
make sure these are the points.
I also have something
Similarly,
to add here as
uh-huh.
well with the balance. I understand the currency is switched from US dollars to Ethereum, but I think it could be a little bit clearer to the user. Should they be using a currency other than American? That this is like American dollars, or perhaps give the user an option to change what type of currency they want to compare with. That's just my suggestion.
Yeah, actually, it will work in a similar way you suggested. Like, from whichever country or place they come from, it depends on, and also they would have an option to select which currency they want to use. So, yeah.
Uh, I wasn't sure if I got that. Did anyone else hear? If they want to interpret back?
You didn't hear me?
Are you able to type out your message in chat? Because I don't think I could hear you. Sorry about that. But either way, I'm just gonna leave a remark here just about, maybe indicating the currency.
Mhm. And also
Hmm.
try to keep consistency with iconography. Like all these are outlined icon, but the thickness also should be consistent. This looks more thinner than the other one,
Hmm.
so just keep that consistency as well.
Hmm.
Rest all things looks good. For me, good work, guys. Both the teams,
Okay, I guess that
great.
concludes it for feedback. Thank you so much for presenting. I know it's like really crazy, maybe a little bit nerve wracking to be on the spot, but I'm glad that you all put a lot of effort into your wireframes and your prototypes. And also thank you, Padma, for giving feedback. Those were some excellent remarks, and I'm also seeing some really good work, some talented people here with us. So yeah, overall, I think this is a
Definitely.
really good experience.
Yep, you're
Um,
most welcome.
yeah. Okay. So now we're going to move on to Q&A. So, when it comes to, I guess, Padma's experience, you could also ask her some questions about how to approach working together as a team. She can provide some insight for you, as well as if there's any other remarks that you want to share about your prototypes. Perhaps there's something that we missed or something that we misunderstood or miscommunicated. Just let us know so that we can clarify it. But if you need help with anything, I guess now's your time to just ask those questions. So, does anyone have any lingering thoughts or ideas or questions you want to ask for Padma?
Yeah, I have one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Padma, thank you for your feedback for Team Two.
Mhm,
So one of the main feedback is that our designs should be more consistent with each other to make it more cohesive.
mhm,
So we did have a some sort of like design system in our Figma file when creating these wireframes, and I mean, I saw it too. Like our designs could be more consistent, but at the same time, I don't want to like stamp out any of our creativity. I just want to see what people can show with their talents. But in the real world, when we're working on a team with a real project, how do you keep aligned with consistency? Like making sure everyone's aligned with like the same design system. Like, is there like what do you think? Is there any way to like
mhm.
enforce that or encourage that?
Yeah, so definitely on this, like we usually have a design system for each project. Okay, so for each client. So if I say like I have worked for Verizon, for that particular Verizon have multiple platforms, right? So for that multiple platform, how we consider consistency with all the platforms. When I'm working for Verizon, I will work for one particular product. In that product also, I will work on one particular application. Okay, similarly we have different products and different applications on that, so how we consider that, so we'll get one design system, everyone will follow the same design system. So if we are adding any icon also, right, we need to consider that styling, that all the areas which we have it in the design system. Similarly, same for all titles or fonts, everywhere for top navigation, bottom navigation, everything should be consistent with the design system which we have for that particular client. So that is the only thing which we refer for creating the UI designs for any applications or any websites and all. That way, design system is the best way which you can follow for all your teams for that particular product.
Okay, I
Mhm.
see. Thank
Yep.
you.
Mm-hmm.
So just another follow-up question. So in a sprint team like this, let's say we have about like 6 people, 7 people.
Mm-hmm.
Is there usually just one person responsible for the UI design of the wireframes, or like, or is there like can there be like a couple more or a few more? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, it depends usually like how much the team strength we have. Sometimes we have one hybrid person who can work on the wireframes and the visual design part also. But sometimes we have different people for UX who will work on the research and then the wireframe, and then he will hand over it to the visual or UI designer who will work on the final style guideline and the look and feel for the interface that way. It depends upon like how much team strength which we have.
Okay, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Padma.
Yep, most welcome. Any other question? Anyone?
Hi, Padma.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question like, how do you choose a color for a product? Like, is there any guidelines we should be following to land on a color? Or like, what should we be doing?
Uh-huh. Okay. So for choosing a color for a product, when we don't have any guidelines, we are starting a new a product altogether. We consider our users first, and we consider our brand also. Like what will be our brand to showcase that way, and what will be our users. Is this going to be a kids? Is this going to be any gender specific? Is this going to be any other area? So we need to consider that. Based on that, we consider colors. We finalize the colors on the product that way. But all things comes under like understanding your users first and understanding your brand also and the
Awesome.
product. Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie. So our 5 minute timer is up for Q&A. If we have more questions to ask Padma,
Mm-hmm.
Padma, what is the best way for our participants to reach out to you if they have more questions?
Definitely, they can reach out to me on LinkedIn, and they can reach out to me from Iterate UX Discord channel as well. I will be there. You can DM me from them, or maybe you can reach out to me from them as well. And I have a LinkedIn profile. Maybe you guys can connect with through LinkedIn as well. Either way
Okay,
will work. Mm-hmm.
right. So I'm going to copy and paste a link to Iterate UX so that you guys
Mm-hmm.
could join the server. And
Mm-hmm.
that way you could also ask questions to Padma there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Let me grab a link very quickly. Oh, it seems to be hidden. Padma, do you have
Oh, should
a
I?
quick link?
Yep. Let
Yeah.
me just share.
If you could
Mm-hmm.
add one to the mural board, that'd be cool. That way they could contact you very quickly on the server. And also the LinkedIn profile for Padma is right here. So where it says follow me underneath Padma's name in her bio, you could just add her right away. And then you could also join the Discord server for Iterate UX. There's a link right here. And also on the collective studio itself, like we have a lot of like senior designers that also browse our server as well. So if you have like designs that you want feedback on, we could definitely help you out as well. We're all kind of part of this network of like helping and sharing with each other. So definitely jump on each other's servers, either Iterate UX or Collective Studio, and
Mm-hmm.
we could always help you out. Anyway,
Yep.
that kind of
Definitely.
wraps up our session. It's a really quick session. It's not going to be 2 hours like it was last time, but we hope that you learned a lot, and we hope that you can also take this feedback and perhaps use it to enhance or even develop your screens a bit better. So, this is also great practice if you want to go back and reiterate this kind of experiment and see if you can implement some of these comments and feedback into your work. If you do decide to do that, definitely check us out next week on the Collective Studio server. We have a drop-in critique session with two professional UI designers and also web developers. So if you want to get some more feedback on the designs that you created this week, definitely come back next week in the evening. We'll have like a nice drop-in session. We could definitely look over your screens again. Other than that, you could also give us some feedback on our event. So, just like we did last week, if you could just click on this Google Forms link, it'll take you to a Google form. You could just put in your information, give us your feedback on what you think about this experience. If we have done something that you think could have been improved, let us know. We are always trying to make our events better. for you. Okay? Does that make sense? Are we all good to go?
Yep. Thank you
Alrighty.
so much for arranging this,
Yes.
and happy weekend to everyone, and all the very best for your project.
Absolutely.
Great.
Thank you. And also happy
Thank you.
Easter, everyone.
Happy Easter.
Thank
Yep.
you. Have a great day.
You
Yep.
too.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Okay, and I'm gonna close this room. Oh, wait, there's a chat message. Let me go check it out. Okay, I think we're all good. Alrighty, I'm gonna close this room in like 30 seconds.